We were talking about win strategies for the side of the Valley. I think you mentioned Hessa, definitely one of the most important players on the side of Burnex Flash. They like to kind of pocket around him in the mid to late game. They want to make sure that whatever his pick is, that's going to kind of dictate their play style throughout the game.
So that's what, that's what I was wondering. Do they give up the carry? And that's what they did here, right? So there's more value for Burnex Flash in the Eve pick. Another hero who we've constantly seen picked up, has a pretty good win rate, and is just so objectively dominant, right? I mean, that's exactly why you pick her. And at the same time, kind of thinking about it, you saw that Kaja ban come out. That's the bane of Eve, so they do lock it in here. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Valley going to complement this carry pick so far with the Lapu, another very strong hero put into the XP lane. We've seen it work wonders for many teams.
Absolutely, and I think, Fly Chicken, it's very much in his playstyle to really jump into that backline and really pose a threat to separate the front and the back, but not to mention that he has a very limited amount of time to make that impact, because Lapu doesn't scale as hard as someone like Blue, for an example, or the previous boring meta of Esmeralda as well as Uranus. But hey, we've moved on from those dark.
So glad.
We haven't seen her at all.
Yeah,
Esmeralda.
I'm
a
happy,
pleasure.
man. It's great. I'm with Trex on this one. I'm very happy we don't have to deal with that nonsense no more. But that begs the question, right? Now, with Yves already on the table and Basic already locking into that carry, we're seeing that Burnex Flash is going to be locking in the Harith, who is very good against short range mages, especially since he can push and harass at the same time. With the help of Ling, you have so many threats as soon as the real world manipulation has been activated.
Yeah, and that Ling is definitely... I mean, the Ling has just been a monster, I feel like, throughout a lot of the knockout stages, and it seems to have always kind of been a bane in mobilelegends' existence. Just some of those assassin heroes, so they're gonna need to find a way to deal with it. But with it being picked so early, there are still a lot of options. The Kufra for Shark, which also gives them some big play potential. Anything to shut that down, really. And it does look like they're gonna lock in the Fredrin, so a little bit of taunt, maybe to slow it down in some of these team fights.
Part of me wish that they didn't lock in the Fredrin just yet, because if you would have had that right, you could kind of leave it flex. Is it going in the XP lane? Is it going in the jungle? But because the Lapu's there, you already have that idea, right? So we kind of, and that's really what we saw throughout the group stage, was those first maybe two picks for both teams were highly flexible. But now, I mean, you've got a pretty good picture of both these teams' first phase, and